All right, welcome to The Explainer. We're going to kick things off today with a single piece of art. And a question that seems simple, but honestly, it's become one of the most tangled, complex questions in our world today. So, take a good look at this. Now, what if I told you this wasn't painted by a human hand? Nope, it was made by an algorithm. So that brings us to the big question, right? Let's pull back the curtain and really figure out who, or, what, is behind this piece of art. Okay, so to really wrap our heads around AI art, we've got to go back to the beginning. We need to look at how these systems actually learn. And it all starts with this really cool concept called a generative adversarial network. You'll probably hear it called a GAN. You can kind of think of it like a dance, right? A three-step dance between a person and a machine. So step one, pre-curation. The artist is basically the director. They're feeding a bunch of images into the algorithm saying, here's what I want you to learn from. Then comes step two, generation. The AI just goes to town, trying its best to imitate those images, churning out thousands of attempts. And finally, step three, post-curation. The artist comes back in, sifts through all that output, and handpicks the final works, the ones that are actually compelling.
But here's the thing, and this is where it gets really interesting. The AI, it's not a perfect copy machine. Not at all. Its attempts to imitate often go, well, a little weird. They create these distorted, surprising images. They're not just copies. They are these strange, sometimes beautiful, failures.
And what's wild is how these AI failures can look, well, shockingly similar to the intentional distortions of an artist like Francis Bacon. I mean, look at this. A GAN might spit out this unsettling, distorted portrait by accident, just because it's trying to copy a face. Francis Bacon, on the other hand, he twisted his portraits on purpose to get at some deep human feeling. The final image might look kind of the same, but one of them is missing that key ingredient, right? Human intent. So, making interesting mistakes is one thing, but what's the next step? What if an AI could do more than just fail gracefully? What if you could actually teach it to be innovative, to be creative on purpose? Well, that's where something called a creative adversarial network, or CAN, comes in. It's brilliant, really. It's designed with this built-in tension. So imagine you feed it a massive data set, like 80,000 images covering 500 years of art history. It has two jobs that are constantly fighting each other. Job one, learn the rules, follow the aesthetics you see in all that art. But job two, and this is the game changer, is that it gets penalized if it just copies something. It has to deviate. The whole goal is novelty. And the result of this whole setup is a system called AI CAN. Its entire purpose is to seek out innovation, not just imitation. It's built to create original stuff by playing this game of following the rules while also breaking them. But, the real test is the art any good? Could it actually pass for something a human made? Oh yeah, the answer is a big, resounding yes. Get this, researchers took art made by AI CAN and mixed it in with pieces from the super prestigious Art Basel Contemporary Art Fair. They showed it to people and asked them which of these were made by a human. And an incredible 75%, that's 3 out of 4 people, thought AI CAN's art was made by a person. And they weren't just guessing, they used words like intentional, inspiring, even communicative to describe it. Wow. So you can see how technology this powerful starts to raise some pretty deep questions, right? We're talking about the big philosophical questions of art. A theorist named Philip Galanter calls them problems to ponder. And I love that phrasing, because these aren't problems you can just solve. They're things that we, artists, critics, all of us, are going to have to wrestle with. Okay, first up, authorship. I mean, really, who is the true author here? When a machine is making creative choices that are so novel they surprise the very people who programmed it, who gets the credit? Where exactly does the human artist's role stop and the AI's begin?
And that leads us to authenticity. For centuries, we've kind of defined art as this deeply human thing, right? An expression of emotion, of experience. So what are we supposed to make of a piece created by, as one source puts it, an unemotional and unthinking system? Is that authentic art? Can it be?
And then, of course, there's the big one, the million-dollar question, creativity itself. Is an AI really being creative? Is it genuinely making something new from scratch? Or is it just doing a super sophisticated remix of everything that's ever been shown? I mean, what does it even mean for a machine to be creative?
But what's so cool is that these questions, they're not totally new. We've been here before, in a way.
You go back decades, and you've got conceptual artists like Saul LeWitt saying that the real art isn't the physical thing, it's the idea behind it. He famously said, "The idea becomes a machine that makes the art." And when you hear that, from 1967 no less, well, suddenly this whole AI thing doesn't seem quite so out of left field, does it?
Okay, so let's set aside all the big philosophical head-scratchers for a minute. What's happening on the ground? How are real working artists actually using this stuff in their studios today?
Well, a really fascinating study of artists using an AI tool called Playform found that there's this whole spectrum of how they work with it. On one end, you have the artist as the curator. They see the AI as a tool, basically an idea-generating machine, but they make all the final creative calls. Then in the middle, you've got the DJ. They treat the AI like a new medium, something to sample and remix, playing with its unexpected outputs to create something totally new. And then, all the way on the other end, you have the collaborator. These artists see the AI as a genuine partner. Some even called it an alien eye that gives them this creative feedback loop, pushing their work into places they never would have thought to go on their own.
So this whole debate, is it a tool, a medium, a partner? It's not happening in a vacuum. In fact, it sounds an awful lot like a debate the art world has had before, when another disruptive technology came along. This isn't the first time a machine has made us question what art even is.
Think about it. When photography first showed up, what did people say? A lot of critics just dismissed it. They said it's just a mechanical process. It's not true art. It doesn't have the artist's hand. Does that sound familiar at all? And yet, over time, photography became a cornerstone of the art world. So that's the real takeaway here, the big question we're left with. Is all this debate around AI art just history repeating itself? Are we right now witnessing the birth of art's next great medium? Makes you think, doesn't it?